Welcome to the Where's the Finish podcast. We are three runners talking to our friends, sharing stories about running, training, life, and asking the quintessential question, where's the finish? WTF.
To Where's the Finish podcast. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Shae.
And tonight we have some new guests, and we're really looking forward to this one because, you know, this is a running podcast on the most part, and this is the first one we've had where we got like non-runners. So we do like running adjacent stuff. So you guys are our running adjacent folks. So we have Bre Ximenes, because I said that right.
How do we do the clap?
God. Yeah, clap it. Give me the clap. and her husband Marshall Gray here today.
Clap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two names right in a row.
Give us some information about, you know, your background, trails, your nature. I mean, you guys are, you know, I say when I lived in Asheville, I was in North Carolina for a while, you know, I was very granola. I think you guys are kind of granola like me.
Granola?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, like
Crunchy.
Crunch a little bit, you know. Listen, have you ever heard that those people are granola?
Never.
What?
I've never heard that. People
especially like in the 90s. If a person in the 90s ate tofu, they were crunchy.
Yeah.
Crunchy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
I love my granola people.
I've heard vanilla.
No, that is a different flavor. That is a different genre.
When you said granola, I immediately went to cereal. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I just want a big bowl of cereal and I would just eat it.
Oh, well, you know, I mean,
you have
eat some bark or something.
I've not eaten cereal in a long time.
I like granola cereal.
I have a problem with cereal, guys.
Really? Like you don't get along with it, or you'll eat it all?
No, if there's a box of cereal in my house, if I were to go to the store right now and buy a box of cereal and it was here, I would eat it.
I would too.
The entire box. Like I would not stop until there was no cereal left.
Mine is Fruity Pebbles for that.
Okay.
Fruity Pebbles. I'd get my milk. I don't like whole milk because it tears me up, but just get my almond milk, get the box of Fruity Pebbles, and just
how do you milk a nut?
Bowl.
Come on, Joe.
Yeah. We're at this point, we almost need to come on, Kevin.
Yeah. I'm not coming on, Kevin.
Come on, Joe.
Well, that got weird fast.
No, so Fruity Pebbles, just like bowl, cereal, milk, cereal.
The great thing about Fruity Pebbles and Fruit Loops is the milk. Like, you know, cereal milk is the best.
You ever add sugar to it?
No, only Rice Krispies.
When I was a kid, that's what I would do.
Yeah,
I'd put like 2 teaspoons of sugar on top of my Frosted Flakes.
Oh,
ooh, that's so much sugar.
And you have great teeth.
No.
I mean, like Corn Flakes and Rice Krispies. I could see sugar in those because they don't have enough sugar in those.
You know,
things.
Wilford Brimley says it best: diabetes tests and supplies.
Yeah.
You might need it.
Your cereal choice.
I would say Raisin Bran Crunch. That's my cereal of choice.
That's my wife's favorite too.
Well, she's amazing.
She would eat that for a long time. That would be like dinner.
Oh,
A bowl of Raisin Bran Crunch.
I love Raisin Bran Crunch.
Yeah, but she's still Pop-Tart in the morning.
Yeah,
so always
go with
Pop-Tart.
that, yeah.
But yeah, she does like the Raisin Bran. So she would come home for. Right now, she is dinner every night is a pot pie.
Knew it. Nailed
it.
Yeah.
A banquet pot pie.
It's those Marie Calendar.
The fancy one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
She and only that brand. Like I've tried other brands and she just doesn't eat them if I buy them.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's so particular. I don't know what I guess mine's Golden Grams.
Golden Graham.
Yeah, like I don't know. I go through like right now they have Quaker has like this new granola type of cereal. It's expensive though, but it's really hearty and it's good. And I'll have that sometimes before a race because it gives me some carbohydrates right before a run in the morning.
Interesting.
But and I did switch over to almond milk on the most part.
How do you milk a nut?
We already went through
Yeah, I think we went there, Kevin.
Okay. We still don't know. We're just bringing it back. Bringing it back. We don't know.
It's like Meet the Fockers and milking the little cats. You know?
I don't think that's how that works.
So, you know, we talk about, again, trail adjacent stuff.
Wait, we didn't go around
We didn't go around.
We didn't get their cereals.
Oh, yeah. What's your cereal?
So mine would be Cocoa Pebbles.
Okay, Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah,
You get the chocolate milk.
and almond milk, unsweetened.
All right.
Gal.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I love Cocoa Pebbles. I like all these sugary things you're talking about, but eat granola.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I kind of feel like cereal's kind of like punishment. I don't really love cereal.
Yeah. So when you're in trouble, you get a bowl of cereal. When
it's like, well,
when Bree's mad at you,
well, I got to eat something. I'll eat some cereal.
Bree's like, I'm not
I can
cooking
take
for
my
you. You got
pills.
cereal today, sir.
He would rather have a bowl of bacon.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, me too.
All right.
Oh, yeah. I'm a meat-a-sore.
Yeah, I love bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon and eggs all day.
Oh, every day, actually, for me.
Same.
I go through so much bacon. I buy pounds and pounds of
Had
it a week.
spam for breakfast today.
Really? I had a can.
Delicious
Hawaiian.
fried spam.
Oh, yeah.
I had 2 cans left over that I bought for a race that I never used. And so, like 2 weeks ago, I took some out, chopped it up, and like mixed it in with my eggs. And
Yeah,
it was
well, I
good.
got I bought 8 cans of spam for skunk ape. Didn't use any of it.
We use
Yeah,
zero
that's
cans.
exactly. I bought 2 cans for Skunk Ape and didn't use it. So,
But you know what we could have used this skunk ape was hot dog buns. I know you're going to listen to this, Joe Fuller.
100
Hot dog
dogs,
buns,
8
please.
hot dog buns that Susan brought.
oh, good Lord Jesus, help!
It's 79 cents for a bag of hot dog buns. Just spend it.
Or a loaf of bread.
It's fine. We got it.
So you know, I met you out on trail and got to know you through Bre, through running, and you see us out there running trails and stuff. And what do you think about trail runners and ultra runners? Have you had much experience other than through us?
So I actually used to run.
Yeah.
No,
No longer. You are now a runner again. Surprise,
I know.
surprise.
I know. Well, you told me I need to come out and run.
I
because
did.
We have the same style, or you would at least run my style, which
Yeah.
would be like a walking at first. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love run walk.
Run walk is good.
Run walk is great.
Yeah. But I used to run cross country when I went to a Baptist boarding school in Kentucky.
Oh, what part of Kentucky?
Oneida, Kentucky.
I have no idea where that's at.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's
No,
really
it's
interesting.
It's not even a half a dot on a map.
Is
It's
that
very-
near where the tornadoes came through? Like Somerset area?
Yes, actually, I lived in London, Kentucky,
Oh, London.
where the
Okay.
tornado. That's another time that I did live there. So I was right there where all the tornadoes went through. So that was horrible. I feel horrible about all
Yeah, I got family in Richmond. So
that. Okay.
they-
Yeah.
So like a one traffic stop like town, like one
I don't
light.
even think it had a light.
yeah.
No light, huh?
No light. It was on a corner.
I bet you had a Dollar General there.
We
There was
probably had
3.
2.
I would say at least. At least.
I love this. I pulled up the town on Google Maps. Dollar General, post office, school.
It's very small, and actually, the school has huge fences around it. 'cause
Oh.
it was
Keep all the riffraff out, the deer.
Yeah, and keep the people in. So I might have been a little bit of a
Wild one.
wild child.
A little hellraiser.
But I learned to run a lot.
Was you running from anything?
Possibly there
or
were
anyone?
things. Yeah, I really enjoyed running, and so that
pull
was like one
over.
of the, pull over. That was one of the only ways you could get away from the school, is if you did something with church, with the choir. It was Oneida Baptist Institution.
Oh, institution.
It's an institution.
Oh, man.
So
Throw
you've
that
been
out there.
institutionalized.
Oh. Okay.
I was since the age of 13
Oh,
until I
yeah.
graduated.
Holy,
you were-
holy Jesus.
You were doctrinated for sure.
There's lots of stories.
I bet. I can
There are.
only imagine.
Did you come from a really religious family, or did you just happen to live in town that was the only school that was available?
So
Tell
I
the
got-
truth.
No. So my family's not. They're a bunch of hippies.
Okay.
They
Oh,
actually
cool.
grew Mary Jane and other things. So
They could do it
That's
legal
why
now.
you. That's
Yeah.
why you had to run.
yeah, that's why.
That's why you had to run.
Yeah.
She had some in her pocket left over from the night before. Like,
We need you. We need you to
comes the
run
search
this,
dogs.
we need you to run this to the end of the holler.
So it was just one of those things. It was like you either had to have a job basically, or you could do a sport. And I chose a sport, and because I never did any sports until I got sent to that school, and so I did cross country and track.
Okay.
And then I was on the softball team. I was a pitcher, which I was horrible. I got booed off the mound all the time. I played soccer, and in the long run, soccer is what ended up getting me into college and
Okay.
college.
Oh,
Where'd you go to college?
Union College.
Look at that on the map. We need to.
It's another very small.
3
Also,
Right.
another high fence place, an
They
institution.
didn't have fences there, but there were people who lived around there that probably could use some fences.
Yeah, Union Institution.
Union Commonwealth University.
Oh, okay.
In Barberville. Yeah.
It is a Barberville, which I think is so funny because we have a Barberville.
We do.
Florida.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah,
That's where my mailbox came from.
I know. I
Barberville.
realized that when I saw it.
Yeah, you know what? I have grown up here, been past that thing so many times. My whole life has been right here mostly, and I've yet to ever go to
You should
Barberville.
go. It's really
Oh,
cool.
it's really cool.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm missing out on because I've never been there.
You should go.
I'm sure I'm missing out on all the greatness. I would want to spend all my money. It's a problem.
You don't have to. You know what? If you want to just give me your money.
I want like a.
He'll spend it for you.
I want one of those like 15-foot high steel bears.
Roosters?
Or, yeah, rooster.
The roosters are cool.
They got some really big cocks over there.
Huge.
So Barberville
Yes.
College. What did you major in? Because was it related to what you do now?
So yeah, the final thing that I ended up graduating with is Parks and Recreation Management.
Nice.
I saw that TV show.
Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Pawnee, Indiana.
Pawnee, Indiana.
That was a great.
It's a great show. Yeah. It's very funny.
I lived that show for a
You
long
did.
time, being in public works in a small town.
Yeah.
Oh,
Putting on the fishing derby.
bet.
I lived that Leslie Nope life for a lot of years.
The Leslie Nope life.
Now you live the Leslie Shae amazing life. Taking that.
We don't drop my real name.
You started it, by the way.
I just said Leslie Nope. I didn't say my first name, but we don't put my first name in the pod.
Fine.
So you did soccer. So that's a running sport. I mean, we've had quite a few guests that have come on here that do what we do, the trail and ultra running, that started off their athletic background was soccer or cross country.
Yeah.
So
It's competitive, so it probably all kind of goes together a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. I loved soccer. Well, and that's kind of where it all went downhill for me, was why I had my knee surgery recently. It was like a whole bunch of just my rubber bands got loose over the years. So finally it just gave out last year, and I ended up having to have all the little parts shaved. And
So what was
back
the
together.
like a full knee replacement? What kind of thing
Like
did
a
you do?
meniscus tear? Or?
no, my ACL, just
ACL?
exploded. So I don't think there was anything in there. So I did get a new to me ACL.
So wait, your
sweet.
ACL exploded. Was it just, were you doing something at the time, or you just got out of bed and it was like, I'm done?
No, I had chainsawed about 300 pounds of sugarcane out of a garden, and I was loading it all up. And when I went to go unload it, I realized I couldn't pull it out of the bed of the truck because it was so heavy. So I was going to use my weight to pull it out, and I stepped in a divot and it snapped it. No. So I had to crawl back to the truck and call for help. But there was like tons of issues, but that was like the biggest one.
We're going to move your mic just a second.
Just
here.
get it up a little closer
Get it
to
a
you.
little closer
Yeah,
to me.
there you go.
There you go.
Is this better?
Oh
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
But yeah, so that was it. That was the moment, and it was like, well, it needed to get fixed.
And that's the
So
moment.
what is it hurting you for a really long time anyway, for years and years?
On and off, yeah. There's a couple times that I've been out doing stuff and walking on uneven ground or whatever, and it would take out. He actually came through the woods once in a car to get me and knocked off, I think, like your side window or something.
Oh, man.
I was crawling trying to get out. There's so many
Lost my
times.
wallet. Yeah, to the ER. Yep.
Yeah. Good times.
So you were
where was that at? That
was-
local or?
Yeah, on the Greenway.
Okay, somewhere there. You just drive up on.
Right. It was a champion tree actually, and we were tasked with taking a picture of it, and she was in it. And then we have a picture of her in
What
it.
is a champion tree?
A Grand Champion oak tree. It's large. It's a status that they get.
Oh,
It
whoa,
no
okay,
idea.
okay.
Yeah. This is
okay.
interesting. I got to know more about grand champion
So
trees.
we have Grand Champion trees, and two, we have Grand Champion trees here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go. I want to know all about this.
So it's no longer a champion because it's split in half, but it's still there.
If it's still alive, should it not be allowed to be a champion?
It's still a champion in my eyes.
It was really weird. It had two trunks that were bigger than most live oak trees you see anywhere.
Right.
And so over time, there was this huge base and these two trunks, and
They just
going
fused
out
together.
and down. Well, they had like the middle was collapsing in, but that made a huge circumference. And she climbed up that big part into where it splits and took the picture, and then slipped herself on the way back down because that was probably 10 feet of climbing.
yeah.
Okay.
Got her foot caught in a burl.
That's
And then I want to say a month after all that, one half of that tree fell over. So the interest in it.
That's what the tree gets.
Was kind of
The tree's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so they got the.
You get out of it and you're like, damn that tree. And you cursed it. And it was like, yeah, I hurt her. I don't deserve to live anymore.
I
don't
read an
deserve to be a
article
champion.
recently that they have a new largest live oak identified in Gainesville in Alachua County. So it's on a farm somewhere. It's on private property.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, they're really massive trees. I've been around some of these areas. You know, we run on the Greenway all the time, and you can just see where apparently fence lines used to be because you see these rows of live oaks.
Oh, yeah.
You know, obviously that looked like it was a boundary of some sort at once upon a time, and these trees are massive. We run out at Pruitt, and there's a big hammock of them out there that there's just a whole bunch of them that look like they must be 500 years old.
I know, they're beautiful.
They're so huge. How old do live oaks live to be?
Ooh.
I wonder.
question.
I wonder what the average is of life of ours around here.
Joe, your phone's ringing.
I'm not answering it.
It's his BFF scam likely.
Oh,
Yeah.
Scam likely?
Yeah. Scam likely calls me all the time.
We should Bluetooth that one
I was going to
day
say, we
and
should have
answer
just Bluetoothed it in.
I imagine because, you know, some of these trees around here, because everything has been farmed or cut down or something at some point, you know.
Right.
So there's not a lot of old growth forest left in Florida. And what is there is mostly the swamps where they couldn't get equipment in.
Right.
So when you have an area like close around here where it's dry, where you know there was tractor work because they used to try to dig a canal through here, how did those trees survive that, you know?
Well, they didn't. I mean, when you look at the pictures of the Greenway and you see everything they did when they were clearing it for the ship canal, it was completely
Just slates.
destroyed. There was absolutely nothing left whatsoever.
Really?
So
Yeah.
everything that you see, because, you know, when you're out on the trails and it's kind of been pushed to the sides and everything,
Yeah.
that was all done by hands and
men, donkeys, and hand carts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's kind of crazy to think that, especially
That
when
is.
you're looking at the huge rocks and stuff. And you're like, wow, we're in Central Florida. You know, I thought this was flat and boring. And here we are, and it's beautiful. My favorite place is Ross Prairie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that place.
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah.
We
I
love
like-
all of the places along the
we have
Greenway.
so many. Yeah.
So wait, okay, so what, back to that. What designates a tree as a champion?
It's basically the size, but
They have different categories, and that's how you end up with more than one grand. They have like biggest circumference, tallest. They have all these different, and this particular tree fits some one set of circumstances.
Right.
But it's probably different than the one in Gainesville now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For that. So
but we were tasked with cleaning it up so they could come out and measure it. So we did. We cleaned it up. But what made me get nervous to get out of the tree was a horse coming by, and horses, you know,
Are evil.
are evil.
They're very skittish.
They're very
They're super skittish,
Yeah.
and so seeing something out of place will automatically make them throw their rider.
Yeah,
or
they're prey
something.
animals. So anything that sneaks up on them,
Yes.
they have this startle effect to them, and they can be dangerous because they're
Right.
1,000-pound animal.
Yes,
Right? So-
that's exactly right. So I had to say, you know, hey horse, hey, hey, and then I fell out of the tree, and then we were waving as I'm in pain, hung up, dangling,
Oh, no.
and then they left, and Marshall was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I am not okay."
Did you get a picture of her dangling, though? That's
no. But the
See, this
picture of
group, we
her-
would have stopped
Yeah,
and
we
took a
would have
picture.
Yeah,
like,
before
hold
we
on, let me get my
rescued.
camera first.
Oh, I took so many unflattering
Wait a
pictures
minute.
of my runner this weekend.
Pause
We'll talk about
pause
that.
my watch first.
Yes, right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Then take a picture. Yeah, I grew up in a little community called Burbank. It's between Ocala, Anthony, and Fort McCoy. It's out in Marion County, and there used to be a railroad that went through there, the Ocklawaha River Railroad, and it was a tree farming community, and it was large when Ocala was small. And so there's a couple old farmsteads and stuff and areas, and there used to be old houses I'd walk around in. They've since been, the logging companies have come through and cut trees, and they just pushed everything down. So if there's still a building there, it's probably buried under dirt where they drove over it. But there's some live oaks out there, and I know where a few are that are just massive. Like the branches of these trees got so heavy when they grew down to the ground, they broke off. Some of they're just the branches are as big as a tree.
As a tree, yeah.
The branches themselves are
That's
as big
wild.
as a tree. So it's really
There's
cool.
some really pretty trees between Ross Prairie and Pruitt on the trail too. Like
Yeah.
there's one out there that I really like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a tattoo of it actually.
Ooh,
A Florida
very
Trail thing.
nice.
I've got it all mapped out. I'm gonna put it
Yeah.
on my leg.
I have a tree that I really enjoy that I have pictures of me inside of the tree, up in the tree. That's like about a mile from Landbridge. The one that's like you cross over 475 and 475A ish. You go there and it's at about a 1/10 of a mile in.
It's big. It's a big live oak
Yeah.
tree.
And for a while, people were putting little fairy doors on it, and they'd go away, and then there'd be little gnomes and everything like that.
I know what tree you're talking about.
Well,
Yeah, it's right there where the planted pines are at, close to where that row of planted pines are, right?
It
Meadow?
is. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Meadow section.
Well, see, here's what happened, Shae. The gnomes and the fairies don't like each other. Okay? So they're competing.
They're competing, and that's why they disappear.
That's why they disappeared, because they fought each other.
One time I saw an action figure. I was out
action
running
figure.
and there was like this rock, and somebody had put like in this little circle in this rock, a little action figure in there.
Yeah.
There's always like random stuff
Yeah.
if you look
Yeah.
out for it.
On the bike trails, there's like
Oh my
one
gosh.
place that's got the cowbell.
Oh, yeah.
And you're always supposed to smack it when you go by.
Yep.
But I know that many people have hit their head.
Smack it with their head.
I've hit my head on that.
Yeah. Well, you're tall. So
Yeah, like a dong.
yeah.
So
Bring my
both of you guys
band.
have a background in forestry and
Yeah.
management,
Yeah.
that type of stuff. So it's interesting. We've talked one time before, and there's two groups of types of people that use public lands. And there are the people that are involved in managing those public lands. There are the people that are people use them, and then there's the conservation group of people.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting dynamic. 'Cause I see the fact that for me, I look at we are users of public lands, and if you don't have the community invested in that, then they're not going to vote for laws and pass bills to be able to purchase and buy land to maintain the land. But then, we in Florida have done a really good job of picking up all these tracts of land that used to be farms and stuff and turn them into public lands. But then people don't get access to them because there's management, the forestry management piece of it that people don't want people in there. So have you guys experienced that through your careers? Like the management, the managing people versus managing resources?
We're kind of like a lucky spot, right? Because it was already destroyed pretty much.
Yeah.
And so even a lot of your like biologists and people coming in, there's certain areas like the vortex and even Santos that the stuff that's there, the plants and stuff that are there are not a high priority. I mean, that stuff's still like you have a lot of invasives and stuff in those areas, and especially since you have homes. So the places that are more protected are like on the west side from Landbridge west side on. And so you see a lot less trails in those areas. So they provide trails, but they have to combine trails in certain sections.
Yeah.
We have like, a ghost orchid or something that's protected, or
They just closed one section of the trail and redid the Florida Trail out there by Earn and Burn. They just redid
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because of
that was because of the mint.
A mint.
That
Yes.
was the mint, and
that's
it's
what it was.
federally protected.
Federally protected mint.
Federally.
But you take away even that area, but just across Florida. I mean, there's very few places in Florida that have not been disturbed by people.
Yeah.
Like we went through this whole thing with like water management in Florida, 100, 200 years ago, where we were draining swamps and we were digging canals and we redirected the Everglades. There's
Master the environment.
we
Yeah,
were,
for sure.
and probably throughout all of history, humans have been doing this. Like there's thoughts that possibly that the grasslands of the Americas were created by Native Americans burning off things. Like the Heath Balds in the Appalachians. They don't really know how they became these bald places on top of the mountains, but there's thoughts that it could have been by human intervention.
Yeah.
And so we're everywhere, disturbing lands. So nothing is really anything really back to its neighbor. There's like I said, there's very few places, even in the Americas, where we have undisturbed, hard, old growth forest. There's so few of them left, even here.
Yeah, it is kind of sad. My mom lives out in Northern California, so I got to see all
cool.
the redwoods and stuff. So when you go there, you almost talk quiet.
It's a little reverent.
It feels sacred.
And so, there's really not that many protected places like that. And the one thing about the Greenway, it's only a mile wide, but it's 110 miles long.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy when you look at the map and you just see this little green line that's going, this little U shape going up, and it's like, that's all there is, but everybody loves free land.
Yeah.
And they think that they can have that piece of it. So that's what's frustrating, because from people who are trying to manage and keep that green space, there's so many people moving into the area, and there's so many back doors and stuff that you don't necessarily know about until it's either too late, or you're sitting there trying to fight it, and then people join in, which is why user groups are so important. And it's so good to have volunteers and stuff, because they come in huge masses to protect all of the green spaces that are left. And like you said, there's just not many left.
Yeah.
So,
I remember when Duke
I was going to say, what was the Duke thing?
It was Duke Energy.
Yeah, they were trying to. I went out there and I was like, they had the news out there, and I went out there. I was like, I'm going to be here part of this, because this is important to me and my community and what we do. So I spent a lot of time, helping those folks out. Duke,
because there's not.
So
they wanted to just.
Yeah, they wanted
let's
to
just go ahead and
let's
throw
cut
power
right
all
through the middle
here.
of this.
It's easy. It's there. Just let us kind of skirt.
Yeah. It's
So before you migrated to Florida, because you've not always been here doing this, what other places have you lived in, and what other parks and forests and things have you been involved with? I mean, you've got a career. We just mentioned it.
Yeah. Well, I did 10 years here as a park ranger in Florida. I quit doing that in 2017, but I was in Colorado working for the U.S. Forest Service.
Oh, nice.
Before that, for 4 years as a seasonal employee. I was
Where in Colorado?
Steamboat Springs.
They have a very nice 100-miler there that people do.
Do they?
They have, Steamboat Springs is like a very big running.
I had an opportunity to go to Steamboat Springs as a Forest Service law enforcement officer.
Oh, yeah.
And I had talked to the manager out there. He was going to hire me, and then I got deployed to Afghanistan. Oh. And then I came back and reapplied for another job they had at Grand Lake, and got deployed to Iraq. And so I never ended up going to Colorado. I always wanted to be a carp cop, but it just never worked out for me.
It's not too late, Joe.
It is. It is. I am not going to another academy.
If you go to Colorado, we would come visit you.
I would go to Colorado to visit, but I'm done with law enforcement.
I guarantee you that they have Pop-Tarts and cereal.
Yeah,
in Colorado.
Yeah.
But they're probably also twice as expensive. That was a big thing. Like when I was looking at Steamboat Springs, moving out there with my family, to buy, it was ridiculous, because it's a ski resort community, and to buy like an old 1970s. I mean, this was back in, when did this happen? This was like 2002.
Okay,
2000,
that's about when I
2001.
left.
It was like $200,000 to buy this old 1970s model trailer on a lot.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It wasn't even land; it was a lot.
Right. And those people, they've been priced out now. They can't even do that now.
I believe that.
So the people who work in the hospital there can't find housing they can afford.
See, this is we were just in the Keys, and like we're just thinking, like, where does the person that works at this McDonald's here, where do they live?
Right.
Where do they live? Because like I'm pulling up Zillow, and I'm like, oh, good, this is a 750 efficiency apartment that's for rent for like $3,000.
It's like $2,600 a month for an efficiency studio. It's
That's gotten ridiculous on prices. And of course, my mom had a house over in Hawaii, in Maui. And so before she sold it, I was going to go over and visit, which I never did make it. But she sold it, and I think it was just like a month or two later that it burnt down.
It was a little longer than that, but it was fairly soon.
Yeah, it was such a thing. So
would she have made more money selling it or getting the insurance claim?
That's a good question.
I think selling it because some of her friends still don't have a home to live in and they're still waiting on money and stuff.
Wow.
That's awful.
Yeah, it was horrible. So now she just goes over to visit and she house sits her friends' houses. So she still gets the
That's
whole
smart.
Hawaii
Yeah, the Hawaii vibe for sure.
Hawaii vibe. Yeah.
Hurt 100. Let's go do it.
Hurt 100.
All the rocks, all the roots, all the fun.
Okay, so you were in Park Service then. How did you get there? What did you study to get to what you're
Well, I didn't actually go to college till much later. I got out of high school and kind of drifted.
Nice.
I've always been granola.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. Love the crunchy.
I sort of retired in my 20s, you know,
Yeah.
for a while,
Yeah.
and then went to work.
Perfect.
I was in Alaska for a couple summers, and just because I wanted to be out in the world, I ended up in Steamboat. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Just a random place to go. I really wanted to learn to ski. So I was in my 20s. I was like, I've got to go live there. I've got to work in a ski shop so I know what I'm doing. And I've got to get the pass, you know, through the company. And I did all that. I found a place to rent and went to the ski shop. And they gave me my pass for the first year. And I had my name up on the board. And I put the slash every time I went, you know.
Yeah.
100 days. You got to get 100 days on the mountain, you know. So I did all that for about 4 years. And then it's kind of like I left in 2004. And you were saying 2002 prices. I was married at the time, kind of newly married. And it was like, are we really going to try to afford to live here? Or are we going to go back where we're kind of from in the South and maybe be able to afford to live
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Sure.
So we kind of bailed. By the time I left, I wasn't much of a skier. I would cross country. The snowshoe. I would snowshoe and walk in the woods in the winter. But I kind of gave up the skiing thing. I've always been adjacent, like you were saying, to high octane,
fuel
adrenaline
adrenaline.
sports. I'm more of a hiker and
Well, that's how I started. I mean, for me, I'm not built for speed. I'm not a runner. I mean,
Yeah, you
really.
are, bro.
But
Built for
no,
speed.
I'm built for strength, for not comfort, not speed. But that was the thing. I grew up in the woods. You know, I was a hiker. You know, a backpacker.
for comfort, not speed. If you want a nice, smooth ride, you won't get there fast. But if you want a nice, smooth place to sit,
I'm not a Ferrari, but I'm a cat.
As long as I have a lap, you have a place to sit.
Come on, Joe.
Come on, Joe.
Mustache rides right here. So I just like you said, like I didn't know I was using running as a way to kind of control my weight and to kind of, because I got out of weight, got really out of weight for a while. I mean, I had so much weight, and then when I found out that people were running on the trails, I was like, what? I can run and I can be basically a hiker,
Right.
you know. And like, this is for me, and that's where I took off on trail running, because like I could go out on and you can see so much trail, and you a lot faster when you're running
Right.
than when you're
same
hiking.
with biking. You
Yeah.
can see a lot more trail.
Yeah.
Bike.
Yeah.
And then, then you'll go on a bike ride. Oh, it's been a hot minute since I'm by
My shoulder loves the trail.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
loves to really dig in. when you
Dig
go out
in,
there.
just get
Yeah.
in that rock every time.
he likes to fly over the handlebars.
I do.
He enjoys it. It's his
Yeah, I
thing.
broke my
Right,
shoulder
right.
at Fat Tire
Epic.
Fest.
Yeah,
Not this one, the year before.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Snap. It was right after I saw you guys.
Yeah. Were you at the
You were there
49th?
at
You
the-
were
at 49th?
No, I
No.
took a year off.
Yeah, she wasn't there.
I was.
It was the,
Oh, yeah.
I was actually
Yeah.
there.
He was.
Yeah. That's what it was.
I was
Yeah.
sagging.
Yep.
Sport and gear
That's right.
assistant.
Yeah.
Kevin got himself broken, but you know that again. I like that.
Now you know what
aspect.
sag means.
I had no idea what it was.
We're
the
trying to figure
sag
out what
stop.
sag
I
means.
was like, this is just what
had
they
to
call
ask.
biking. Sag stop. It's not like an aid station. It's a sag stop.
Yeah.
Support and gear.
Year. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to ask too.
I had no idea.
We were
So-
always like, what's this aid station? Why is it called SAG? That's
Yeah.
weird.
I left Ocala and joined the military, and then whenever I got out of the military, my parents had moved to Asheville because that's where my dad spent a lot of his time growing up. His dad was a pastor, and he went around building churches and stuff, and wherever they went, that's where he was there in Asheville for a while. So he always wanted to go back. And I was taking my then fiance. We were moving back to Florida, and we stopped in Asheville to introduce them to.
You mean
my
your ex-girlfriend?
No, my now wife.
You mean your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend. She's now my wife. We stopped in Asheville to introduce her to my parents, and we unloaded the U-Haul and stayed. Yeah.
Oh, did they know?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like, hey, surprise.
Well, we just stopped to visit, but Stacy loved the mountains and loved it up there. And honestly, I love it there too. I still have a real tie to the Appalachians. And when they had the hurricane went through there, and I had a lot of friends up there that went. But we lived in Asheville for 16 years. Yeah. So our kids were both born and raised there. And so it was, I loved the trails up there. I know you guys have family near Franklin.
We do. You're singing my song right now, Joe. You're
Like
totally.
I hit these trails, and we'd hike up to up to Mount Mitchell on the backside, and we go up past Douglas Falls, and there are tulip poplars up there as big around as a freaking bedroom. I mean,
That's a big tulip.
they are huge. These poplars are massive.
Yeah.
And the reason why they're so massive is because they couldn't get equipment up there to
cut them down.
cut them
I'm
down.
sure, yeah.
They were pretty ingenious about clearing even forest on the mountains, but there were some areas that are now National Park Service with the Blue Ridge Parkway and Forest Service lands that are around there. There's actually a very small piece of BLM land up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Very not many. BLM is everyone knows that out west.
Yeah.
Bureau of Land Management. There's a little bit of chunk of it in the Asheville area too. They do some work out there. Mostly, I think they do seismology and other things too.
Okay.
But because they have the national weather place in Asheville that they track all the weather for the country and historic archives and stuff. It's a really interesting place to live.
I heard it's very pretty there. I've never
love
been.
to.
It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It really is. And mild weather and
Mild.
It is mild. It is
Yeah.
mild.
Okay. First off, I freeze.
You think Florida's mild?
when it gets cold?
Although you know what, it's pretty spicy out today.
It's beautiful out right
Florida's hot. Florida is not mild.
Yeah.
No,
I agree. It's hot.
totally abrasive.
And so, like we went up for vacation. We go up there every now and then and visit some friends. We went to Smokies and we were
Yeah.
up in Bryson City, which is right up you guys' neck of the woods. And,
Yeah.
the trails up there are amazing, going to the Great Smokies from the Bryson City side. There's
You know what you're doing? You're trying to get them to move away. You're
Hey,
this
we've
is
already
they're
I don't
just
need help
Joe,
doing
stop
that.
it. Stop it, Joe.
you guys are just
Hey, you know what's better?
Yeah.
Ocala. Ocala's good. We have stuff.
they have
It's hot here.
they have
But
they
there's
have-
trails. That are
they have
beautiful.
trails. They have
and champion trees.
That's true. They have champion trees, and it doesn't hurt to run because you're not going up and down a mountain.
That's sometimes
That
it
is
hurts to run.
so then you guys both worked different places, ended up here.
Yep.
How'd you guys meet?
Yeah, this
She
are we there
actually-
yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah.
We're there.
Yeah.
She actually was on the 4-man person team that interviewed me for my job as a ranger. In which I was like, hey, I've been in Colorado doing this kind of work.
She says, "I will give you the job, but you have to sleep with me."
That is quid pro quo. No, just say no to quid pro quo.
Undisclosed. Undisclosed.
Yeah. So he ended up getting the job.
Of course
Yeah.
he did.
Now I was-
and the girl.
And that was many
took a
moons
while,
later.
yeah.
It took a long time.
Yeah.
Because
had
you
a-
guys were both married at some
We were
point.
both.
We were.
We were both married.
And I had a different job than she had. She was
Yeah.
already the volunteer person. And I was just a ranger, and we were kind of different. I was supposed to dig fence rows and kind of deal with the public, but she was really like dealing with the public and the 300 people at the time who were
Yeah.
volunteers. And
Yeah.
so we didn't really mix a lot in the beginning.
No.
Did you do a lot of seasonal work? Is that what I heard you say? You did seasonal work.
When I worked for the Forest Service out in Steamboat, it
Yeah.
was all summer. They'd keep us half the year and then let us go.
Because
They're like, yep, sorry, we can't see the ground.
I mean,
Yeah,
a lot
pretty
of
much.
a lot of
Next year.
state and national parks all use seasonal employees because a lot of the stuff is you shut down a park during the winter, no one's in there for 6 months or whatever. When I wanted to work for the Park Service, you had to go and do some time as a seasonal employee for a couple seasons, usually, in order to then apply for a regular full-time job.
Yeah.
Right.
So everyone that was a full-time Park Service employee almost started off as a seasonal employee.
Yeah, that
That's
makes sense.
exactly how it is. And now, I tell a lot of people because everybody wants to be a ranger, right? They're all you go everywhere.
I want the cool hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. Well, people. there's so many different things to the uniform or anything else that are people like, well, I want this. I love that. We came from
Sexy part. The sexy part.
We came from it being not a state park. And so we did not necessarily like the uniform when we had to get into it. We had a really hard time. I still, for many years, wore
You're still
overalls.
working, so be careful what you say. Now, I
know.
can say all kinds of stuff about the uniform
He's-
because I don't work there anymore. But
Yeah. So I wore overalls and brown boots to work, which, you definitely can't wear.
Rebel.
Brown. Yeah. I was the redheaded.
You can't wear
child.
brown boots.
No, they must be black.
Black.
Must be black.
What? Okay.
And the
I won't fight.
It's in
you.
the
of course,
handbook.
I hated
it
tucking
is.
my
It's in
shirt
the handbook.
in and
Yeah.
everything. I was-
853.
853
You-
subsection
but-
4 paragraph 5 states
Yeah.
black boots
But
only.
obviously, you're a rebel. But come on, the career field of park ranger is rebels.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is.
Did you see my sticker on the back of my truck?
I
no.
did.
Did
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, we're at the right place.
you? You certainly are.
We know we're in the right
You
place.
certainly are.
Yeah, it was, like in the National Park Service, they have the ranger hat, and everyone knows the National Park Service by the hat. But your interpreters wear the same thing as your law enforcement officers, and you can't distinguish between them.
Right.
And so the only thing they changed was the badge. So they changed the badge so you could tell the difference between a cop and someone that was doing interpretation, for example. I don't know if you know what interpretation is. It's basically the people that walk around and tell you the stories of the area. And I love interpretation because
Yeah.
I'm a good talker and I like history. But you do have to be
Nerd.
You do have to be. Well, my sister calls me a trail nerd because when we go hiking or backpacking, I'm pointing out plants, what they are, what they're used for,
Nice.
talking about the history of the land, who lived there, who didn't.
Susan is my,
I
my
love
plant
that stuff.
person when I run with her.
Susan's our nerd too. We love Susan.
Yes.
I was definitely destined to be a carp cop, but I didn't do it.
You still can.
No, I can't.
Not too late for you.
It is too late.
You keep saying that.
It is too. There is an age limit to that profession.
Listen, we'll get you a waiver. It's fine.
Yeah.
Waiver.
We'll get a waiver.
No, but I could do I could get into the interpretation and volunteers. If I retire this year, I'll have a lot more time it's a good chance that I might be forced into retirement this summer. And if that happens, then I'm going to have a lot more free time.
Yeah.
So then I can maybe go do some, I love talking to groups of people and talking and sharing history and stuff. And I know when we talk, Bre, that we, out on the trail, sometimes we get into talking about stuff like that.
Yeah. And I've got the perfect place for you, too.
I know exactly where we're putting you.
I do. It's so funny because a lot of people don't know the history
Yeah.
of a lot of the parks in general, or they'll be like, I didn't know that the Greenway was there and it's right out in their backyard. It's like, I thought that was a fire break.
So I moved to Florida in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived just on the other side of the shores, literally a quarter, just right by the sheriff's substation.
Yeah.
Grew up there, lived there. I never even got onto the trails until 2017.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Well,
I had
when-
no idea there was this whole playground, but I was also like an indoor cat. So I wasn't athletic or anything like that.
If we're talking about like the Greenway, because we can talk about, because that's where we do a lot of our running at.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this, I spent a lot of time out in the Ocala National Forest as a kid. That was a big stomping ground for me because I grew up out that way. But like the Greenway, there was always a weird history with the Greenway, and it was back and forth as to whether it was even open to the public or not open to the public. It wasn't really a park. In some places it was, and then I don't think all the lands were consolidated. Some of it,
There were definitely land gaps.
yeah, a lot of
There still is. And there's one little section that I wish that they would sell their property to over in Denellen so that we can get off 484 for the Cross Florida 200. And if they would just sell that little strip of property like that big on a map,
Yeah.
golden, we could just run right through there.
Yeah, so that's the kind of the history of that area. There was a lot of politics that went back and forth about whether that canal should have been built or not been built.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
And that was going
Huge
on for a long time.
It cost a lot of money to do that.
So
ridiculous amount of
as
money.
a park, when I was a kid growing up, the Greenway was not.
Yeah. Right.
And so
You're showing your age, Joe.
yeah,
Maybe you are right. You are too old for that other job.
I am. But I remember the bridges, for example, or the pylons that are behind the sheriff's department substation there.
That's a cool place.
When I was a kid, that there was not a bunch of trees around that. You could just drive by it and see it. The unfinished bridge there behind the sheriff's substation. But then there's these giant bridges over on Highway 40 and was that 18 out in Eureka. These great big giant 2-lane bridges that have no curb. They're not like accessible for bicycles or nothing, right? You better not walk across those things.
No.
But they go like 120 feet into the air. I will say that I did jump off of the Eureka Bridge in the river a few times as a kid. Yeah, I was a brave, dumb kid.
Yeah.
That's bold.
And there's big trees down there too, underneath that thing. One of the cool things, one of the trees we used to jump off of all the time.
Is it a champion tree?
No, it was. It was this old dead tree that just kind of jutted out out of the river, and you could climb up to the end of it and jump off into it.
Yeah.
Eventually, University of Florida came and claimed it as an Indian canoe.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Joe.
it was a war canoe, and it's
Wow.
right there underneath, not far underneath the bridge there.
Oh, that's so cool.
So University of Florida, and we have a friend that works at University of Florida.
At the museum.
At the museum that does some of that stuff.
She does the
Animal
stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
But so much history in this area.
Yeah.
And a lot of it gets lost.
It does.
I can talk about, like Burbank, where I grew up, in the Ocklawaha River Railroad, and I know where the bed's at, where it used to run, and that a lot of that stuff gets lost to people.
We found 7 leaves one time on the Berm Road.
on the Berm Road near Rodman Dam.
Dam.
Yeah, funny.
we did another diversion. We're trying to get to their love story.
We did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love
Let's
story.
hear let's see. Guys.
So she interviewed you.
Yeah. And
Many moons later.
a few years eclipse and life moves on. Some things change.
Yeah.
For the better, clearly. For the better.
She kind of had another person she worked with, and he moved on to another place. And I said, well, I'd rather have that job. That's a trail job. I'm like pushing dirt with a bulldozer, which is okay, but I'd probably rather ride my bike and patrol and deal with the volunteers. And so that kind of put us working together.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it took a few years for life to sort of
Figure itself
change
out.
and metamorph, and then
Realized we were really good friends, and of course we were both going through divorce somewhat at the same time.
and I moved on to state property.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of happened.
It just happened.
This
It
was
natural.
this was
organically.
where at again? This was not Colorado, was it?
No, this was
that's
here,
here.
in Ocala.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned state property, moved on to state property, and what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of rangers, especially out west, live on the park.
They do.
That's
a thing here as well, especially in a lot of the parks. If there's a house,
Single as a ranger, I kind of had no choice at that point. I was getting divorced, and I had a small child too, and they offered me a place to live, and in exchange for continuing to do my job, and so I took it.
yeah,
And-
and I had the same thing. So I was a single mom. So I was over across from Landbridge. Actually, there's a little house tucked in there, close to the horse park, and
Near the tree that she
near
fell out of.
the tree, the lovely tree. And basically, when you're on property, you think free house, but you work 24.
you're always on.
People
Yeah.
come to your house, and
Oh, my.
it's people on horseback and everything. And then it was a couple acres, so you maintain the land, and then you also maintain the fences and stuff on the property, and then that's part of it, which is fine. But yeah, people just show up at your house. You have no privacy whatsoever.
Yeah, I was out.
Well, he lived a lot further
Yeah, I had a
away,
totally
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
In Fort McCoy.
In Fort
Yep.
McCoy on a piece
okay.
on a 2-home piece of land that had been donated that was butted up to the river, and that had a blueberry field that I tried to bring back, and
Successful?
somewhat.
Enough.
I got one,
I'm assuming a blueberry farm, not wild blueberries.
not a farm, but I guess whoever lived there was kind of serious about having their own plot, and they had
Blueberry farms in that part of Florida is pretty common. There's quite a few. There's one in Burbank where I grew up. That's a pretty big one. My buddy Bill owns it, and his family has managed it for a long time. There's a couple good ones out in the Citra area.
Oh, yeah, we
big,
go there.
big farms out
go
that
there.
way.
Yeah.
So blueberry farming was a big deal for a long time in Florida.
Yeah, and he did. He went out and
I
worked
tried,
those
man. I
rows.
slaved over those. I was probably about 12 rows, and I don't know,
We had
maybe
a
a
lot.
third of a football field, and so far
That's pretty good size.
and it was
That's a lot of work right there.
tangled with the swamp trying to take it back over.
Yeah.
So
Snakes.
Get back, swamp. These are my
I
blueberries.
bet you the bears are real happy with you.
I saw a bear one night on the way home, and that's it. I lived there for 3 years. I never looked out my door and saw a bear. I never
That's
saw
sad.
a bear. It's weird.
We've seen
Man,
bears.
people, I was gonna say people in my neighborhood are always like,
We
"Hey,
see
look, there's
bears
a bear in my
all
backyard."
the
Yeah.
time
Right,
on the trail.
But the washer and dryer was in a separate building between the house and the blueberries, and I did get the creeps a few times, thinking I know I'm not alone. There's somebody.
There's something
There's some
watching
other
me.
thing here with me somewhere
Aliens.
in the dark.
Skunk ape.
It's alien.
Yeah.
Right?
It was a skunk ape.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never.
Skunk ape is real.
That
Yeah.
reminds
Oh,
me
I
that I
agree.
need to check
Yeah.
my blackberry.
Yeah, blackberries. Oh,
I gotta
there's
check
some
the blackberry field.
Great blackberries.
Go to
I gotta
Wet
check.
Hammock.
Yeah.
Wet
What?
Hammock out in Citra.
Oh, I was gonna
Oh,
say
yeah,
no,
they
There's a
have-
spot.
So
There's
that's
spot
a U
here.
pick.
Huge, right?
They got a U pick out there in
Well,
Citra.
No. I
No,
wanna go,
you're talking about the wild ones, but they
I want
have
to go
a.
to my wild ones and get my hands torn up.
But out there in Citra, they got a U pick place, and they got these. They're like thumb-sized
Yeah.
berries, and they're so easy. They have like the thorn.
just-
They like the thornless blackberries.
No,
They're
I want to
so
get my hands
good.
cut off for my trail
One.
snack.
Yeah, and
Get
then
another-
my face is all purple.
Oh yeah.
You know what I like?
and
That's
then
like a
I'm
blackberry, but better.
A mulberry.
Mulberry,
mulberries
Yeah.
are delicious.
because they
stain
They'll fall
everything.
apart in your hand as you pick them off the tree. But there's
Yeah, but they're not as good.
yeah, they are.
Like chewing on
You're
the seeds, though?
crazy.
I don't know.
They have less seeds.
I think they do have less seeds, but I don't like the flavor as good.
No,
It's
if
not
I-
as tart, but I think they're really good. I almost get them when they're still kind of red.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they just look like very long blackberries.
Yeah. They grow in a tree,
they're tree berries.
but they grow in a tree.
berries.
But you can pick them really
I've-
quick. and
Yes. And there's no
Never
thorns.
had
And
a
then
mulberry.
and then
no.
there's another berry, Shae, that you might like. They're called dingle.
They kind of taste nutty.
They don't grow
no,
on trees.
I don't think they taste nutty.
If you get a long vine, they're hanging off the end of the vine.
I feel they're probably a little corny.
That's nasty.
So you guys became friends, and then
Good.
Yeah, so
you went Brady Bunch and said, "Let's combine our families." And
pretty much, I started looking for a house around 2014 after my appendix burst, and I got over that and realized there was nothing worse going on. And
That was great. He passed
Wait.
out in the truck.
Yeah. So wait, your appendix burst.
yeah, I woke
didn't
up
know what it
one
was.
I woke up one morning. I wasn't in my 40s yet, but I was pretty good at getting up once to pee. So I got up one night to pee like normal in my late 30s, and everything was fine. I got up a couple hours later to get up for work, and I felt like I can only explain like the Incredible Hulk had punched me in the stomach while I was sleeping,
yeah.
and it just got worse as the day went on. And about lunchtime, I was with her and another employee, and we were riding around in Palatka, and I just passed out in the truck.
no.
Oh, he did. And,
And-
I was ready to go.
listen, if you're
Hey.
passing out in trucks and Palatka, you're just joining the rest of the folks.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what
it's
those people
Palatka.
do out
Yeah.
there.
There's
more to,
Yeah.
there's more to the story. I woke right up and I was like, I feel better. And I did feel better. And we went to an urgent care center in Palatka, and they
Oh,
were
that's
like-
scary.
That
yeah,
is
they were
scary.
like,
Yeah.
they were like, you should go to the hospital. I was like, well, I don't think I want to go to the Palatka hospital. So we rolled the dice. She took me back to Ocala. I went
You
off
spent the
work.
night.
I slept that night and went to the doctor. I guess I'm really lucky because my
Yeah.
blood didn't get poisoned because
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
like you
very
feel
lucky.
pressure and then you don't feel pressure. That's usually a bad sign. I
It
think
sure is.
In retrospect, I should have gone straight to the hospital. But
Yeah.
anyway, they took me in the next day, and I sat in the hospital till about 10:30 at night the next day, and they took my appendix out and sent me home the next day.
Yeah.
So once
You're
that
very
was
lucky.
once that was over,
You're very lucky.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I had a
mean-
ruptured appendix when I was like 13. And so I had 404 stitches. I had gangrene, like the whole thing. I couldn't walk.
I
It
got
was-
gangrene. I got gangrene once. I went to the bathroom at Rodman Dam.
Oh,
I got gangrene from there.
You weren't wearing your flip flops.
Oh man,
yeah, I had
400
400
stitches.
This was it was a long time ago, and I don't think they really knew how.
Yeah, you were a kid, so we're talking.
They had to open you up and clean everything.
They did everything. I had two.
They got like this pressure washer.
Yeah.
This is a washer out.
Mess. It was a hot mess. So when he was going through it, I said, I think this is your appendix, and he's like, no, it's not like that. And I'd be like, well, no, it kind of seems like it. What side did it start on? And then he was just like, I was like, you got to come sleep at my house in case, you know.
Oh, yeah. I got
Yeah,
that.
man.
I did. Gotta
I
come
got a
sleep
button
at
for
my
that. Hold on.
house.
Is it this one?
Yeah, hold it.
She held me while I laid there going,
Oh,
I'm dying.
Am I dying?
Yeah, so after that, I started seriously looking for a house, because
Nice.
I got over that, and we moved in together in 2015. My kids were
It's going to be our 10-year
Little.
anniversary for.
what?
4th of July will be the 10 years since we moved there.
Wow.
And then we moved to McIntosh, and that was so. It was fun to combine the two houses. We were dying, and
Yeah,
then
we were far. She was in her house in Ocala where she was constantly bombarded with people, and I was way out in the middle of nowhere where it was like an hour drive
Where there
to
was
pick
no
my
people.
daughter up.
Oh, my
And then
gosh.
to see her was like 45 minutes. So
we had the middle ground, but it was nice. So once we moved in and everything, it took about another year before we got married.
two.
Two?
Two.
I never remember.
She can't remember.
So y'all, but y'all landed in McIntosh.
Yeah.
What another neat place.
It
A lot
is.
of history.
I love Macintosh.
Yeah,
I
don't
do.
speed.
Yeah.
Don't-
no, you do
not
not
speed in
Give us-
Micanopy is the worst place to speed.
You can speed through Macintosh.
I would not
ask you
advise
not to, but you can.
Yeah.
Plenty of people do.
So again, another great history. There was a railroad that went through
Yeah.
McIntosh,
Yes.
and it's no longer there. But that railroad was not much. Most of the railroads that have come and gone in Florida were for logging.
Yeah.
The one that was there was for oranges.
It was
Yeah.
all citrus.
It was
and our
all
little
citrus.
town is huge. We still actually next to us is a nice little citrus grove.
Yeah, we're one house away from where that came through.
So
Yeah.
Marion County was the world's producer of citrus for a very long time.
which is crazy because now you
There's
hardly
nothing.
see it.
There's
Yeah.
no citrus here now.
We have a couple trees on our property. We had a really big one, and
Yeah.
then
Greening.
we cleaned out the oak leaves from under it, and it got greening.
Yeah.
And
So-
we found out from
It
the
got
University
what?
of Florida
Greening.
Yeah.
that you need the oak leaves.
What is greening?
It's a vascular disease that's pretty much wiped out citrus in Florida.
Yeah.
wow.
Sad.
From I think an aphid spreads it.
Yep.
And it just kind
So
of
the oak leaf protects it.
Yeah, it does.
And so then all the taking out of all the oaks is part of what has destroyed the
probably
whole.
There was
I think.
a blight that happened, and there was several really hard freezes.
freezes were major. Yeah.
The orange belt kind of moved south and has continued to move south to almost being gone from Florida now.
That's why they moved to frostproof.
Yes,
right?
because it was frost.
So
and
obvious.
they still have a lot of oranges in frostproof.
They do, yeah.
But that's why we have Orange Lake.
I watched a
We
horror
have
movie
Orange
about that.
Springs. We have Citra. And Citra they were known for a grapefruit that was developed and grown there and only there.
Oh, okay.
And so they would bring in literally like entire train beds full of citrus out of that area. Yeah.
So cool because there's like when you're coming on 441, you kind of come up to this high point. And it's got this huge windmill. And
Yeah.
It used to be the windmill gallery. Our buddy Sean, used to do his photographs and stuff from there.
Yeah.
Sean Dowie, and so it was last minute. We were like, it was Earth Day, and we had worked at one of the Earth Day festivals.
That's
And so we were like, we gotta
Here in town,
leave. Yeah, here in town, and we were like, we gotta leave. So we left.
You're not allowed to leave early. I was like, well, we're getting married to each other today. He's like, well, I got to let you go then. That's what he said.
Yeah.
So,
So we ended up going up to the Windmill Gallery that had a handful of friends.
yeah, the Orange
and
Lake Overlook where they
Yeah.
shipped out
where
the
they
oranges.
did the oranges.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was like our big thing. Of course, getting ready, it wasn't your normal wedding. Of course, this was our second go round, which we never thought would happen ever. And
We weren't going to do it.
no.
Yeah, that's a
So
hard
what
pass.
made you decide
made
to
us
do it?
decide?
Yeah.
Way,
We
bro.
were doing our taxes. This is so sexy. So sexy. We were doing our taxes. Yeah.
Yeah, talk about them taxes.
about-
Yeah.
After we got
Unearned
done,
income credit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. we were driving away, and after we've had many conversations, I just looked at him and I said, this is not like the best way to
Well,
say
you
it.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. Well, and then I was like, I think we're gonna have to get married.
Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was going to say you forgot the part where the very crusty lady who was doing our taxes in her house in the back like basement of her house was like, "You guys should get married." You know, she's
With her, the way to say that, I could hear her smoking
in
like,
between cigarettes. Basically, it was like,
"You
"It's a
guys should
shame you're
get
not married."
married."
She was actually 29. I don't know why you guys sound like she's old.
Yeah,
I'm just imagining that Rosalind, what's her name? Rosalind
Roz from Monsters, Inc.
Oh no, yeah.
I'm watching you, Mike Wazowski.
it's kind of like that.
Always watching.
Always watching.
We only saw her one time a year for taxes, and she wasn't particularly friendly. But she made that really weird comment at the end of doing our taxes. She was like, "You should just be married."
Yeah.
And
It was not.
yeah, we had some other. You know, it's when you're not married and you're together, you don't have a lot of rights that are automatic the minute you're married.
Well, then you own property together, right? So you
Yeah.
did own the house.
Well, I did all that before we were
okay.
married, but
Yeah.
you know, you don't have the right to be in the hospital with them in certain situations
Yeah.
or make decisions.
Yeah.
So we were like, we need to.
Well, I mean, it
as
was probably
free
scary
rights
with
as we can.
your appendix situation. She's probably freaking out as well.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to have somebody there to be like, I
yeah.
got
We
you.
might as well. We figured we might as well get married. We're gonna.
so you
stay
looked
together.
over at him and you gave him the eyes and said, "For tax reasons."
Yeah.
For tax
for tax reasons, let's go to the windmill.
Not because
Yeah.
Do the
not
one
because I love you, but
Right.
because I want to save money by switching to Progressive insurance. Is that right?
That's Geico.
Geico.
Yeah.
Geico.
No, you
It's
switched
Geico.
to Progressive recently because you
I
did
did.
save
I
money.
just
we went the other way. Got rid
Right.
of Progressive. Yeah.
That's funny.
So that's pretty much how it all happened. But yeah, it was just
Look at you guys now.
10 years of wedded bliss.
8 years.
8.
10
Yeah.
years
10 years
together.
of
living together.
togetherness.
Yeah,
Wedded.
10 years
Yes.
togetherness.
Yeah, I even said in the anniversary card, "Happy 10 years," and he was like, "You know, this is wrong."
I love that she gets that wrong and not me.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
all
it's
that
not that
matters.
important.
Yeah.
That's huge.
But you don't miss my birthday.
That's
No.
Oh
no.
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 I take a whole month.
Oh,
Yeah.
the month.
And we're
What
in
month?
it.
What? Oh,
May.
okay. May.
It's my birthday this month too.
Oh, happy
What's your
birthday.
day?
13.
Mine's the 30th.
No.
I'm the end of the month.
Nice.
I'll be 41.
Well, congratulations.
I'm very excited.
Wow.
Cool.
You almost made it to old.
I'm getting close. Every
Look
day.
at you.
Yep. I celebrate Shaetober.
October.
It's Shaetoberfest.
I don't even. This year I did get a day, but a lot of times I don't even get a day. So
Got a good day.
I got a
You
good
got
day this year.
You got the day.
I got the best
You
birthday that I've had my entire life.
There is no way. Oh wow,
That says a
that
lot.
says a lot.
I had the
Oh, man,
best
we have
birthday
to-
of my life.
Oh my.
Well, okay, now we got to ramp up our game for next year. We
What am I
gonna
gonna do
we gotta
next
start
year?
planning now.
Yeah, I mean, well, like in my family, birthdays just we didn't have parties and things. People didn't
We
celebrate
pinned
that.
the calf on Joe.
You did pin the calf on Joe.
Yeah.
It was so good. I actually I was playing with that 2 days ago. No, Saturday.
Craig
'Cause
will be very
I
happy
was
to
in
hear
my
that.
office live streaming the Keys 100 and it was sitting in my office up against the wall and I'm like, oh, and I was picking it up and looking at it because my calves look like a big dong just hanging there. Off of it. I don't know how that happened.
I do. I definitely. Craig. Oh, Craig. We love Craig.
Well, so you guys obviously have a lot of background in natural resources and trail. We kind of touched on some history. I see as I start talking history, you light up a little bit, Bre. So do you do a lot of interpretation type work?
I do, and I absolutely love, and I didn't know this until after I left because I was with the park for a long time, so 17 years, I believe. I left for a year to do something in the city, and I learned a lot about myself, and more so in the interpretation with kids. So that's where I've got my whole "I love nature more than you" thing.
Yeah.
But I've always loved interpretation.
So what is I love nature
Yes.
more than you?
So it's just my way of educating kids because they don't like to be told that you know something more than them.
Yeah.
So then it grabs their attention and it makes them want to participate, right, in a conversation. So you can talk about any animal or anything. Not history yet because they're normally younger, but they'll actually participate in it and say, well, I know this fun fact. So you won't give out all the information. So I'll be like, hey, welcome to I Love Nature More Than You on my YouTube channel. And I'll be like, come and check this out. And I'll point to a gopher tortoise hole and be like, who lives here? And then it just spirals into like all these other things. And it's like, well, how big are those burrows and what lives in those burrows and why does it look that way. So it's just my way of getting kids to be engaged.
And adults, because I learned a lot of stuff on your videos, actually.
I know a lot of adults have actually come up to me and said, no, I really like the stuff.
fun.
I need shirts.
I love gopher tortoises, but right now I hate them. I got one that's been digging on my property for the last 2 years, and I can't mess with him.
No.
And he's digging on the corner of my fence where all of my utilities come into my house.
Wow.
So, like, I'm afraid at some point he's going to dig and maybe
You try feeding him lettuce.
break.
You can't do anything.
Break maybe a telephone line or a cable line or something that's trenched in there.
Their burrows can go down 10 feet.
Oh, my.
And 40 foot long.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's wild. I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool to have the gopher tortoise there, but I don't like where it's at. Like, if it could be anywhere on my property, but that is the least ideal location for him to have a burrow.
Yeah.
It also, because there's so much benefit to the tortoise being there with all the other animals that use gopher tortoise holes. Yeah. I haven't seen a rattlesnake, but I guarantee you that if there's gopher tortoises there, there's probably a rattlesnake.
There's definitely a rattlesnake in there.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't live there all the time, but they come in and hang out occasionally.
Yeah, so many, and like in Florida, and people that may not know that Florida is kind of reborn by fire.
That's always
and that's why we do a lot of the prescribed burns in Florida to kind of keep things under control and so things don't get out of hand. They had some prescribed burns near Indian Lake right by my house the other day. But
was your entire neighborhood group like, it's so smoky outside?
What are they doing?
We do have some neighbors from.
Why is the helicopter flying around?
We have some New Jersey folks that live next to us.
What's
so
that loud
their house
boom?
burned down
And
before
then
they
everybody's
moved to
like,
us.
the naval base posted all of their, my windows will shake from the naval base that's in the forest. And like in the neighborhood, why is this happening? And it's like they post it. They post exactly when
all of these animals, when there's a fire going on, a lot of them will take refuge inside those gopher tortoise holes.
They do.
Until the fire burns over, and then they come out and everything starts growing green again.
It's amazing. So that's another way of just engaging. So I'll put the topic out there and I'll say, I love nature more than you. Let's talk about gopher tortoises today. And then it just goes in. So if you're doing interpretation with the kids, it's easy because then it goes into like all the things that they think might live in those burrows, how big the burrow is, why the burrow looks the way it does, And it's so funny because gophers, the turtles are like on their cute little legs. They're so fast.
They are.
So
fast.
Like I posted a video of one that was really boogieing the other day, and you think about like the tortoise and the hare, and of course, the tortoise.
I'm definitely a tortoise.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm a tortoise too.
Yeah.
I'm a human. I don't know why you guys are so weird.
You're a hare. You're a hare.
But it's a great way to get people engaged. But with adults, another thing that I just like to do is just talk about some history because people don't know, especially in the location where they live. It's like
no idea.
There's not enough information out there, which is why interpretation is so big. And it's a great way to have, like you're talking about the island behind the sheriff's substation. That is one of the only locations that we have that actually talks about the entire thing from start to finish and what it is today, how it was going to be the ship canal versus the barge canal versus, coming in and, becoming trails and having the first land bridge. We were the first one.
Yeah.
So
that's super fun.
So when
they're going to expanding that, right? Like because of the I-75 extension?
They will be.
Yeah.
They will be, and it will be wider as well. Yeah, they will because and there's a lot of other things that are happening with paved trails because it's originally it was supposed to be the section from 200 to Pruitt was supposed to be first, I believe, or it could have even flopped even from Baseline to Santos, right? So you still have all of these paved trails that are in the works. It's just where are the grants and everything and the money right now and where is it going to happen? So, but I mean, that's something that's going to come.
Yeah, I saw them surveying Baseline to Santos. They're doing some surveying out there. So.
Yeah, I was part of that, walking through, and it was great. And I got to say,
there might be a blackberry section through there that really may be devastated by that, Shae.
No, they might put a path right through the middle of it.
They better not touch my secret stash.
They'll put a path right
Only
through the
me
middle of
and James knows about that.
And me,
You've been there.
I've been there.
it. I've eaten berries there before.
We got a 5-gallon bag. of
Nobody
berries.
knows about my secret blackberries.
Everybody knows.
Everyone knows. It's just a
Everyone
secret.
knows.
But nobody goes there because it's
No one goes
you
there
have
for
to-
that.
you have to. It takes like what, a mile and a half plus
Yeah.
to
gotta
get
hoof it.
there, and then and then
It's
it's
a lot of work.
death hot right now. So.
Yeah.
You know what loves the berries in there is the fox squirrels.
Oh, there's some
There's
big-
so many fox squirrels.
The
in
ones
there.
at baseline are
The ones at Baseline.
huge.
Big old chubby. They're like little monkeys running around.
do.
They're so big.
They do.
I've actually had people confuse them, think they were monkeys.
Well, they
Yeah,
get
I can
pretty
see that.
big.
Yeah.
They do have that cute little face.
Yeah,
It's
well,
either like a
they're-
bear or a monkey.
Yeah.
They're really
Go
hard to
your
take
way.
pictures of because they know you're pulling out your phone, and so they go to the other side of the tree.
And they don't like
yeah.
to be pointed at.
I've had a few pose for me. I've had a few pose for me. I got some pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some good ones. Of course, there are cameras everywhere, so we get great pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you're right that interpretation is really important for the purpose of spreading on the oral history, because oral history is really important because we lose, people don't necessarily read it or don't necessarily write it down. And that's why we have history from thousands of years ago still today that came to us through oral history. So I think that's a really important part of that role and what we should be doing. And again, like I know a lot of history about Ocala and the Central Florida area just from being a native and growing up
Right.
here because I seen it, I lived it, I grew up with it. And if I don't share that information with someone, it might just die.
It will. And that's sad. I mean, it really is sad because you could know some really cool facts that could grab someone's attention and they remember that, Then they grasp onto that history and it continues to live.
We have another friend of the podcast who lives out in Citra, and she, her job, she's an archaeologist. She does, and she does a lot of history of Florida stuff, and she's working on. You probably don't know her name's Mandy.
Oh, okay.
But she lives over in Citra, and they're starting a podcast. So to talk about history, and she goes to a lot of these little Florida history events, and her and I have talked a little bit because she lives right where my family lived at for a while, but she's not from the area, but she's just learning. She knows a lot of information, and a lot of it is going and talking to people.
Yeah, it is. It's nice when you can go and talk to somebody, especially, in an area you're not familiar with. And that's another thing with going back to all the different parks in the city and the county and in the state. Like there are.
Would you
so
talk about that
many.
job at all?
The city?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of it? Like just how different it was from what you've done before?
It was totally different. I did learn a lot. It was just not for me. I'm more meant to be outside. That was more of an inside job. But it was I worked in the museum there.
Because you did a lot of the programming and stuff for Fort King.
Yeah, Fort King National Historic Landmark, which is a beautiful park. Also Scott Springs and Nature Conservancy. I think.
Scott Springs. I used to love that place as a kid. Before they built all the shopping centers around it, it was the place that all the teenagers went to drink and go climb into the
Party
caves.
place. Yeah, the caves, right?
Well-
you go there and you're like, why is there a cave here?
Really?
Yeah.
At Scott Springs?
Yeah.
Scott
The only
Springs.
thing I know about Scott Springs is that's the male hookup place.
It used to be, but they've really died down now. Joe, where's it at now?
It is in the bathroom at 49th that says, if you're looking for this, any porta
That's
potty.
the porta potty.
Legit. It's the Bowling Bluff trailhead in Gainesville.
I was gonna say
Really? Yeah.
the trailhead across from your house, where
Indian Lake State Forest.
where that man.
No,
woman
that's
dressed
just
up.
a recording studio
the
for
recording studio.
Yeah, that's not the hookup place.
We'll tell you a story offline. You'll really enjoy
We've
that
probably told this story online
have,
before.
Everybody's probably like, this story again.
We'll tell
We don't
them
need to tell
that
it
story
again.
off.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
But
So a
yeah,
lot
I
of
got to
programming,
work with
yeah.
programming a lot, and it was super nice. And of course, they have the festival there, which was really good. It's you're totally immersed in the time period, and everybody is dressed, and they've got the cannons, and they've got all the wares, and
It's LARPing.
Right.
it's LARPing. It's all
Yeah.
It's just really cool, and the volunteers there were totally different than what I have at the job I'm at now. So it's it's nice because I never really was interested in history until I went there, And then I got to see, you know, what
So
the
our friend
1830s.
Jeremy that we run with all the time, his family used to own
That property.
the two houses that were
Yeah.
on that property.
Oh, so he's very
Yeah.
familiar with the
Very
bottles and the
familiar with them.
tree.
He said
and
all
everything.
kinds of stuff he has found.
yeah.
His
Yeah.
family's
Well,
property
there's
growing
a
up.
seep spring down on the back side of that,
There's a trail to it. It's
and
really nice.
and there's apparently there are archaeologists talked about doing some digs there because there's maybe some stuff from the American Indian Wars that may be inside those areas. So they can collect water from there, right?
Yeah, well, pretty much everybody got like Giardia from.
I was gonna say they did everything in that water from what I.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people. That was you know, it wasn't from a battle that they died. So
Yeah.
you know, but they did. They found lots of cool buttons and everything down there, and it wasn't necessarily from that time frame either. Which is, you know, they shared the uniforms over time.
Yeah,
So
every
Yeah.
years,
the buttons from older uniforms were showing up there, and so you're seeing people coming in and out. So it's really cool. If you they've changed it up since I left with the museums, which was up front, the original house.
Yeah.
Now everything is in the back.
Oh,
house
okay.
there.
Nice.
But the fort is open 7 days a week. The blacksmith shop is there.
I just am thankful that the bathroom is open.
Oh,
All the
yeah.
time.
Because we run past
We run
there.
past there. We're like,
I've never gone to the
perfect.
bathroom.
Oh yeah,
I've never been there.
you've never been there.
Oh, wow.
The only time I've ever been there
you
was,
That was
go.
you. That was you and me.
You didn't
no,
go
I
with
didn't
us
go with
that
you guys.
time.
You know, I wasn't.
Well, you know, the original fort there burned down, right? And so the foundations of the original fort have been identified there, though. And so apparently they built the new fort, the recreation, just a couple degrees off,
Correct.
so that it wasn't directly on the foundations of the
Correct.
original.
And the blacksmith shop is exactly where the blacksmith shop was. And when you go into the museum, which is only open on Fridays and Saturdays from like 10 to 5, and they need to give me some money for
Yeah, you're plugging away right now.
Plugging away.
Plugging away.
they offer classes and stuff there too inside the museum, but they have all of those things that they found on property for the most part inside that little museum there. And then they talk about, you know, they have the names of the soldiers and everything that lived there, and of course the nice flatware and everything that was there. And why would they have such nice like china and stuff? And well, it's because the families and stuff would actually come and visit, right? And they didn't know what they were getting into.
Oh.
But you think about like the wool uniforms and stuff. People were not
Yeah, it's
prepared
crazy.
no.
to
crazy.
come to Florida, and all the things that bite them. They thought that, you know, they needed the long sleeves that would keep away, you know, the
The
diseases
stuff,
and
yeah.
things. But no, you take that off when you go to bed, and the mosquitoes still get you, and
Yeah.
you know, you have illnesses and whatnot. But yeah, the water's bad. It was like better to drink alcohol. It was much safer.
Sounds terrible.
I mean, it's like going to Mexico now.
Yeah,
In a wool jacket.
Yeah.
wool jacket.
And no showers.
So
Perfect.
you know, but yeah, they do have the festival at Fort King every single year, and it's really cool to go and be a part of like the whole reenactment and everything.
I was gonna say you're saying the festival, but you're the
I'm thinking
reenactment
about-
where they're shooting at each other. Like that's important. That's not a
Hey, how do you
normal
say that?
festival.
Yeah, we
Fun
want to
thing
go
in
shoot at
German
people
again? Yeah,
too.
that's
Yeah,
yeah.
Boa
definitely.
Stivafa.
Vos die Fafa!
Yeah.
And then in Floridian, where that gun? No, wait. What's a Floridian way to say where's the gun?
I don't know. Where's the gun?
I don't know.
Yeah, Shae, it's very
I don't know. I'm trying to
It's
think.
Florida, you
I'm
don't have
trying
to
to
ask.
think about like how to
Yeah,
do
we got
my.
those.
We have the gun. That's Florida. Everyone can carry
where the
it.
gun
Why-
is.
Well,
why
I'm
ask
trying
when
to
it's right
like
there
do
in
my
your hand?
papa's accent, but I don't think I can.
No.
No, I mean, but Ocala again. We talk about the history of Ocala. Like there was a huge. It played a big role in the American Indian Wars. And there was another fort just on the other side of Pruitt. You know, out there. I
didn't know
can
that.
never say the name of it. It's
I had no idea.
Halpatatanaka.
Oh, yeah.
or-
Alpaca.
Yeah.
Halpatatastanaki.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Hey.
Yeah. Wow, congratulations.
That was pretty good.
You got it.
I used to be a ranger.
Yeah.
And then other interesting landmarks, the Marshall Plantation.
Yeah, which is, you know, right on the backside of the
We love
Sharps
Marshall
Ferry
Swamp.
Bridge. Marshall Swamp is
Yeah.
a really unique place, that's for sure.
I fall every time.
On the bridges or just
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
He trips
Little
on the
cypress
cypress
nuts.
knees.
Oh,
The nuts.
We call
whatever.
them, he calls them cedar nuts, but there's
Cedar
the
nuts.
cypress, the cypress
These
knees.
little nut things.
Yeah, but you know, I always think when I think of Marshall Swamp, we think about just the little bike path that goes from here to there, right? But there's the entire Marshall Wilderness area back in
Yeah.
there, and again, talk about areas that were touched by people, that it has been reclaimed by the forest. That whole area was a series of canals and ditches and stuff to drain off. Even like the Ocklawaha Prairie and the entire Ocklawaha River that was diverted into a canal.
Yeah.
And all of that's part of that Marshall Swamp area,
Yeah, there's muck farms and everything back in there.
Yeah.
Wait, a muck farm?
Muck farm.
What are they making muck for?
To grow alligators and things to kill you, I think.
There's
okay.
big stuff back in there.
Yeah, it's crazy back in there. But the plantation, there was some Civil War history with that,
Yeah.
A really great, story about some soldiers, a black black Union soldiers that came down and freed slaves from that plantation.
Yes, there was lots of slaves there.
Yeah, and I mean, just so much cool history that's right here. If you just
Joe,
learn
it's
it.
very evident that you chose history over smoking meat when you turned 40.
Yes. A lot of this information I've had in my head for a long time. I'm kind of a nerd in that if I find something interesting, then I want to learn everything about it that I can.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of history about Marshall Swamp that I can find. I mean, a lot of it's lost.
It is. It's interesting. You can actually go to the Sharps Ferry office, and I think they have a little bit more information in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there used to be a plaque that was down there on 314.
I seen it sitting on the side of the road one time, just knocked over, just sitting there.
Well,
for a while.
I think it disappeared. You were,
I rescued it one time, and I don't know what happened to it.
but I don't think it was ever put back up.
Yeah.
But that was like the only history that I really knew, other than just hearing it.
It was a rice and indigo plantation, right?
Yes.
And people don't realize that was before oranges, we had rice and indigo.
Yeah.
And like Rice Creek is real similar to that, was rice and indigo, which is up near Palatka. Also another neat area to talk about.
There's just so much, and it's not just about like all your theme parks and everything that people know when they come here. If they actually, did the back roads and stuff, they could find some really cool
Well, we have people that come down from different parts of the country to come to Florida to run, trail and ultra marathons.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why is because we can participate all year here, and there's places up north, for 6 months of the year, you don't want to go outside.
Right.
So you can come down to Florida and participate in all of our winter races, which is the race season for Florida.
Yeah.
And I love it when they come down and they'll run through an area, and I'll like, this is real Florida. This is what you're seeing. What you're witnessing right now is not. It's not the beaches and it's not Disney.
No.
This is what you're getting is real Florida.
And it's
I mean, if you ran through Palatka, that's real Florida, y'all.
that is.
It is.
I mean,
Yep. Sometimes you run through there and maybe a bullet might run a little faster than you. Or a dog might be running up
guarantee
on
a dog's going to be running up on you.
you. Yeah. Yee.
Yee.
Well, I know there's lots of hogs in that.
There is, Hog Valley. My buddy, his dad just passed away, and he lived in Hog Valley. And he's like, what can you tell me about Hog Valley? And I'm like, nothing. I can't tell
Good
you anything.
answer.
You just got to go experience that yourself.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's really great that you guys got a chance to come on and talk with us. If people are out and about and they're with us, there's a good chance that they'll run into you on trail somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Hanging out, doing trail stuff.
Because you're always out on the trails, and you spend so much time making sure that the trails stay open for us stupid people to go out and use them. And I like to preach this quite a bit. I really do preach it at people. We have a lot of people that use the sport and they consume the sport of running, but they don't necessarily do anything to contribute to it otherwise. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I would like to challenge people. I would say 50-50 if it was me, but even if you could go once or twice a year and volunteer to, either help, volunteer at a race or go out and do some trail maintenance,
Trail work day.
Go out on the trail work days. Yep. We have, what is we got day coming up real soon? National Trails Days.
There's National Trails Day, National Public Lands Day.
These are good.
I thought you were talking about Gardening Naked Day. I didn't know where you're going with that.
I could
That's already
do that.
done.
Yeah.
That's in May.
Yeah.
Early May.
Yeah. That's already behind us.
Yes.
You're behind.
Behind.
But definitely spend some time volunteering because
It's the single most important thing you can do for the community.
yeah, it really
To
is.
preserve what's built.
The thing I do a lot on trails, especially after races or around races, I pick up garbage and yell at people who have thrown garbage on the ground.
Wow,
It
there aren't
drives me
enough
nuts.
people like you.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if I'm on a run, you've seen it.
Oh yeah. Yep,
I
we
hate
pick up
it. I hate it.
Well,
I
we
hate it.
do-
I don't understand why people can just like throw their water bottle.
We do
Don't
have some race
it.
directors out there that have made it a rule
Or
that,
just regular
that you
people.
can't
They're
use,
just-
like you can't bring your gels.
Right.
You have to use a container because what happens with like the gels is people tear
Tear the
off the
tab off.
piece and then they throw
little
the
piece.
when that little piece will end up on the ground, or they'll put the empty in their pocket and then sometime it falls out.
Falls out, yeah.
Or there's some people that are just real buttholes and they just throw it onto the ground.
Right.
You
Those
know?
are road runners. Trail runners don't do that.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of volunteers, they're very passionate about it, and of course, everybody takes a little ownership of their trails and whatnot. So when you have like people who come onto the trails, they have a different opinion of the people who have the events and stuff,
Yes.
versus the people who actually go out.
Like when we spend hours putting pink flags up and someone takes them down.
And then you have to go put them out again and someone takes them down again.
Wow.
Yes, I
We've
know.
been
Twice.
you all.
Yeah, I think these people think that they're doing something good.
They do, but it's interesting because what I have found is that a lot of the people, if they volunteer with the certain group who takes care of those trails, and they build like a relationship,
Yeah.
right? And they know that one or the other is not out to do some harm for something. So more so in the biking community.
Yeah, I can
it
see
is
that.
we really don't have issues too much other than taking down flagging
Yes.
on the hiking trail, the Florida Trail. But what a lot of people don't even realize is that if they have kids or grandkids or anything like that, right now there's a Brighter Future program that's going right through parks where they can get $1,000 scholarship if they go and sign up. But all kids have to, in high school, they have to have anywhere from 50 to 100 volunteer hours in order to graduate and to use that for college. And so it's so important for everyone to volunteer, but our kids really need to understand the reason why they should be volunteering as well, and know that it's not just, I use pet shelters all the time because everybody loves to go to the pet shelters and read books and stuff to the dogs for volunteer.
It makes me so sad to go to the pet shelter, though.
Oh, I cry every time.
I can't go to the cat
Even
room.
if we take something home, I'm still in there going, this is so sad. But everybody wants to do something fun and cuddly, or where you're not sweating. So they choose other things to volunteer. And, they could do something really cool by going out and maintaining these trails, especially after a hurricane.
Yeah.
When we could really use people. So, they get those volunteer hours for school, whereas the adults, once they reach like 250 hours, they end up getting a free pass to go into any state park.
I have one of those anyhow.
Yeah.
So
You have a lot of people who go ahead and,
Yeah.
and pay for their annual passes. But for those who are used to volunteering or doing events or anything like that on the property, you put in your time, you end up getting to go for free to any state park.
well,
almost.
then you get invested into what you're doing, and
Yeah.
it really drives me nuts. I could just picture when someone's pulling down my flag that it's the trail Karen. The person.
It's not Joe.
The person that's never volunteered an hour, that's never given a dime of their resource, but they only are users of the system, but don't give anything back to it. And
It's a combination. You just never know. And of course, everybody's like, put cameras up. And it's like, wow, there's
No,
no
don't.
Wi-Fi.
You're gonna
and
catch
stuff out
naked
there.
people on your cameras.
You're going to catch
We
naked
already-
runners on
we
the
already
camera.
see that. Remember, everything gets pinched in certain areas on the property. There are cameras
I was
for
gonna say-
wildlife.
So like if I'm running like later at night, early in the morning, and the worst thing is when you're going, under the bridges and you get flash and you're like, oh, because it flashes right on you when you're going like one of the underpasses. But then I remember, and sometimes I do pose for the cameras.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of people
Nice.
do.
We've
right?
seen
Nice.
you.
Yeah. It's very funny. Lots of bears out there on the west side, though.
well,
there
the
are,
one I want to see them catch a picture of, obviously, though, is the skunk ape.
No, no. I want them to catch the actual Florida panther that's out there.
Well, it's elusive. It's elusive.
I'm telling you, there's a panther out there.
We had someone tell us last year when we were doing trail work for the Skunk Ape 100. She was adamant. One of a volunteer that's like adamant that there was a panther that they saw.
Yes, very adamant.
Very adamant about it. And I'm like, if it came onto this side where you're saying it was at, they said it was near the horse park. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it would have had to cross the bridge, land bridge, to get there.
Yeah, they would have definitely seen it on the
and they would have came on the trail cam. So I mean, there are panthers that are working their way our direction. Yeah, they are seeing them in the southern parts of the Withlacoochee forest.
Yeah.
You know, those are roaming males.
There's a website you can go.
But those are the roaming males that go long ways. The females with cubs aren't making it up to us yet.
No.
But, I think in the next 20, 30 years, we may see a resurgence.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And it's definitely interesting because a lot of people, because I get pictures all the time. It's like, look what I saw. And it's like, oh, well, if you see it's a bobcat, but the people don't understand that the bobcats, they can get really tall. They can be short. That, just like any other animal, there's different variations. But the tail is not like a little nub is what everybody thinks a bobcat is. They can have a tail that's like, 6 inches. And so, it looks like a tail.
It looks small, but it's really big.
Yeah.
Come on.
I got a button for that.
Oh, that's so funny. So yeah, I have to say, well, no, that's a bobcat. Or look at the patterns. Go ahead and look at stuff. And then another one that I have actually seen, and I don't know if you did or not, but it was the jaguarundi.
Maybe because I was thinking the one story I have that kind of relates is I saw something in the Santos campground one time that I can't explain. It was way too big to be what I would think would be a bobcat, and it was almost black.
It was black, and that's what I saw.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
okay.
and it's
Jaguarundi.
Look 'em
Is
up.
that like,
I'm looking it up
Is that
right
like
now,
the
yeah.
raccoon-looking thing with the long
No, it's a big
striped tail?
cat. It's a
No,
bigger
this
cat
looks like
than
this looks like one of the angry ferals that I've.
So
This
they
like
have
that.
It's like a cat. With
Yeah.
a flat face, kind of
don't know.
bearish looking. They do come in different colors, but mostly they're dark.
They look big. This
And
looks
there
so
was one
mad.
They get
of
pretty big?
those- No, they don't get too big. They're
Look how
bigger than a
angry this
house
cat
cat.
looks.
That does look
This looks
angry.
a very angry cat.
But
Yeah.
he came across the
he does.
he was not happy about that picture.
We have a lot of non-native animals,
Yeah.
and obviously we can get stuff that's released.
Yeah, lots of stuff is released. We have something in Ross Prairie.
We talked
What?
I
about
heard about that.
Yeah,
What's in Ross Prairie?
A tegu.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's. I think we
We
you
did.
tell
We
me
talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
You'll
talked about
see
that.
it on
Yeah.
the hiking
Really?
trail, in between the hiking and the horse trail.
yeah.
This is it's a big old lizard guy.
But the funny thing about
Pretty.
cryptids or animals that are endangered or extinct in an area or supposedly so every now and then you do see some animals make a resurgence that we thought were dead for 50 years.
Oh, yeah.
So some of our foresters are quite large and can hide
Oh, yeah.
real animals. When we talk about the Appalachians, we had they said there was no mountain lions left in the Appalachians,
Right.
but then they show up on real trail cameras.
Right.
They're like, well, that's not really an Appalachian mountain lion. Do you have a biologist out there taking DNA off of it? How do you know it's
Right.
not?
Is he wild and he's living there?
Yeah, and
he's the new one.
So they have them, and then there's other cats. My buddy always called them a catawampus. They had some non-native, obviously, long tail like lynx type cats that were up there, but every now and then you would catch one on this trail, and hunters see these animals.
Oh, yeah.
And
Sitting up in their hunt stands.
yeah, and it's not just the bears, and there are animals out there, but I was just talking to a guy who works for the State Forest Service this past weekend. I was at a birthday party, and he was there, and he manages Region 2, or District 2.
Yeah.
So he's over that whole area, and we were talking about invasive animals, and we were talking about rhesus monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about the new thing up in the Alachua County area with the green anacondas that are up there.
You and I had a discussion about that.
Yeah.
That's wild to me because I've been to Brazil. So,
I've not heard that.
No, me either.
yeah.
Yes.
No, I hadn't heard it either. But when he told me that, that's terrifying.
Yeah,
Because I can
if you
tell
go to the Florida website, the Florida wildlife website that shows like the invasive species, and it shows sightings, confirmed documented sightings, Tuscaloosa Prairie
Yeah.
which is
Oh yeah, I heard about that. The
Tuscarora-
anacondas.
Yeah, and then bar hammock, the levee
Whoa,
loop,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
right
whoa.
around
where we ran with Ron.
No. What?
What?
Yeah, so bar hammock where the levee loop trail was
Only anaconda. Never mind.
Yeah, your anaconda don't want none. But no, there's some anacondas that have been documented up in around Micanopy.
Really? I did
Crazy
not
in
know
art.
that.
That's
Yes, I forgot to tell you about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
these are the things I get on the internet and look at. Like, oh, there's an anaconda, or there's
this.
some weird type of monkey. I got a different type of monkey besides the rhesus
Right.
monkeys that we have here in Marion County, which have been seen up into Micanopy also.
Yeah.
But they have another monkey up in Alachua County. I forgot what it's called, but it's like some really fast.
Really?
They have a hard time capturing them. But then you get down to the villages and they have the squirrel monkeys that are on the golf courses.
which I tried bringing back from Brazil when I was there. The cutest little thing. I was going to do like the beehive hairdo and have it placed in the middle because I had really long hair at the time. Yeah.
I love it.
I really wanted to bring, his name was Little Mohican.
Little
Little
amazing.
Mohican, my little monkey.
Just about anything will survive in Florida,
Oh, yeah. It thrives.
Yeah.
And you
Argentine
get to the,
black and white tegu.
oh, yeah.
That's
they're
the
beautiful.
one, yeah.
Yeah, they're big and aggressive too.
Yes, they are.
And the Greenway, kind of, especially over towards Pruitt, a lot of the rocks got made into a feature that's really not, normal for
natural
Florida.
feature,
But
yeah.
It leaves room for a lot of caves
Great
and crevices.
habitat.
Yeah.
Bre and I were aware of a bobcat that lived just outside of Ross Prairie Campground
Yeah.
in one of the, stone piles.
Stone
that had
piles, yeah.
rock, yeah.
It was amazing. We were eating lunch.
They walked
and
across the trail in
walked
front of
across
us.
the trail in
That's
front of
right.
us, and then it kind of just disappeared. And then the longer we sat there and we were looking, then we saw, like with all his patterns and stuff, he finally kind of appeared, and it was like, wow, look at how blended he is to his environment. Like you couldn't even see him. But yeah, he walked right in front of us. We were just sitting on the back of the truck after like probably trimming some trails and stuff. And was like, oh, wow. And here it came. And it was like, oh, my God. It was like within feet of us.
Sauntered up into the diggings and into a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a friend recently that rescued an escaped red-footed tortoise off of the Greenway.
I've done that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or it wasn't a red-footed. It was the big African turtle.
The sulcatas?
Yes. He weighed over 50 pounds. And I only knew that because I
Had to pick them up.
Yes, I did. And I was new to Florida because I'm originally from Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I sent a picture to my boss. And it was a selfie. And I said, this is the biggest gopher tortoise I've ever seen. And he's like, oh, no, what did you do with it? I was like, oh, I released it on our property. He's like, go get it. It's an invasive. You can't do that. So then I had to take it. And luckily it hadn't moved. I had to take it to a local veterinarian to see if it was chipped. And of course it wasn't. And then we found out it was dehydrated. And then I found out that you hydrate
yeah,
through the butthole.
No.
So they got to soak
in water.
in water to hydrate.
Okay. I didn't know if they were just going to like have
Ironically
it like
enough-
butt chug something.
No.
Ironically, that's the exact same way Joe hydrates.
But mine's with beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one actually had left to go find a female, and it just sauntered out on our property. And I thought, oh, look at this gopher. It's
Yeah, one of the more interesting animals that people confuse in everywhere, it's not just in Florida, is foxes and coyotes.
Yeah.
They think them out to be lots of different types of animals, chupacabras and foxes and wolves. And,
There's coyotes
you
out
know,
at
Cross
at
Prairie.
Pruitt. Out at
Pruitt. Every
Pruitt,
evening you hear them
You
out
hear 'em
there.
at Pruitt.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's a
that was
lot
cool.
out.
A lot out at Pruitt. You can hear them
Yeah.
yipping. And,
I've got
and
I've got a
pretty-
great video of the
right when the
hair
sun
going.
starts to go down,
Yeah.
you can hear them go.
We
nuts
have
out
a bunch of them in Indian Lake where I live too. And
Yeah.
every evening when I'm out on my pool deck, I can hear them out there just
Yeah.
going crazy.
It's wild.
I've seen them in Santos.
there. Really, it's Santos.
Yeah.
In the Asheville area, they have there's no red wolves left. There's a small group of them. I think maybe a half a dozen or so still wild, but most of the rest of them are left in zoos. But red wolves used to be very common. They're not a huge wolf, but they used to be common in the Appalachians. But what is left in the Appalachians is a cross of the red wolf and coyote. And anytime it's like a liger, when you cross two animals, they get bigger.
Yeah.
And so we have some large dogs in the Appalachians that are a cross between a red wolf and a coyote, and they look like they are large. They're like a 60-pound coyote, you know. And so when people see those, they think they've seen a wolf. Or
Oh, yeah.
or they see a fox that has mange. They've lost their hair or
Yeah.
something, and then they look like some kind of alien creature.
or something,
You know.
it's been from Africa. But
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Like we had a koi wolf that was on the Greenway at one point, and that one was really interesting. We got a beautiful picture at the land bridge, and of course that one got hit out on 44.
Oh,
So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, but it's amazing the pictures and stuff that you can see, and that's why it's so important to have bridges to go over those huge intersections or underpasses because they can actually
Yeah, so-
safely cross.
Man, I would love to have something to go over 200 safely. That would be amazing.
It will come eventually.
200.
Yeah, they're.
I've seen the budget
there's
plan.
things.
Yeah.
I've seen the budget plan. It just actually has to materialize.
Or
it just
or
takes
like
so many years.
a real bathroom at 49th Ave would be great.
Yeah.
You know what? We got potable water there.
If
we
you
need
are,
to be happy about
if
that.
you're a real kind of an entrepreneurial type person with, you could make donations.
Or how about we talk Marion County into making that one of their parks? That's what we should talk about doing.
There you go.
And if they take it over, they can manage it. See,
Well, we just need to go become. We just need to become advocates.
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to vote. That's what I'm going to do.
we could create a
play the lotto
friends.
and
We
become
could
a
create a
billionaire.
friends of group, and then we could go do all kinds of stuff.
I love it.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us
Yeah,
tonight.
this has been fun.
So-
Yeah, thanks for having
inviting
us.
Yeah.
All right. What else are we missing? What else do we need to cover?
I'm trying to think. I mean,
I'm just mostly along for the ride.
he was. He didn't know he was getting roped into
She's the
this.
star of all of her.
Well,
She's very passionate about her interpretation and sharing what she.
What is your
loves, so-
YouTube channel? One more time.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I've got it. Yes.
we got
So-
all the lists right here. So
yeah,
you
check
can
her out.
you can find her at Whatnot at what is that? Turquoise
Turquoise
Wilderness, or Instagram at Turquoise Wilderness, TikTok at Turquoise Wilderness, Newsbreak at Natural Love BX10 _ BX10,
We'll have all of these in the show notes.
Yes, we
YouTube
will.
at I Love Nature More Than You, and
Yes.
you can also find Bre on Facebook.
yeah.
So-
So I overshare.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love it.
She's
and it's
all over
oversharing
social
about all
media.
the nature
You can
and
find-
all the good stuff.
Listen. You go and subscribe to her YouTube channel
It's very
because
fun.
she's got some really
Yeah, she really does
cool,
have some
informative
cool
stuff on there. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'll be we'll share it on our story and everything like that and all that awesome stuff. So thank you guys so much for coming and listening to the Where's the Finish podcast. Make sure to subscribe on Instagram, on Facebook. Make sure to check out Bre, all of her amazing things. And
out our merch.
Yeah, do some merch, everything like that. And we'll see you out on the trail.
Let's go.
Might be able to tell you what they are.
Donde
I know-
está una biblioteca?
That is not Portuguese.
Yeah,
That
So
is
start
not-
with.
no.
Start with not Portuguese.
Hoffa's going to be really mad at me.
Yes, we'd be very mad.
He's going to be really mad at me. That's okay. I don't really know any other language other than English, so there's no problem there.
Wo ist die Waffe?
What?
Wo ist die Waffe?
Wo is die Waffe?
That is where's the gun in German.
Where's the gun?
Yeah.
Why are you asking random Germans where the gun is?
So my sister's brother-in-law was like Army Ranger or something along those lines.
Army Hula.
And one of their things they had to do was learn where is the gun in a bunch of different languages.
Oh.
So every time we would see him, or like every time my sister would see him, she would ask, give me another language for the gun thing. So at one point, I can only remember the German, but at one point I knew.
I mean, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Can you do it in Russian too?
So I had it in. He taught us Russian, Greek. I want to say it was in Afrikaans, Chinese. So
That's
like
interesting.
so a whole 10 different languages of where is the gun. The only one I remember is
I know-
Wo ist die Waffe.
I know some Farsi.
Okay,
What-
what
yeah,
is-
so- what do you know?
So like I know how are you, Chatoresti, and I'm fine, thank you. Hobostan Tashaka.
but no.
Or-
Wo
or-
ist die
You
Waffe?
know, where's the gun?
So but I can say I do some dirty words like homosexual is like bachaba,
Bachaba.
and
I've heard people call you that before.
crazy is
Hugging you.
crazy is dewana, So Chitores dijo esta tasha katapana.
Oof.
So yeah, like I learned all these little languages, like because I had to speak at the front lines. I was at the gate, where we let people onto the base in Bagram. So I had to learn how to speak some I forgot a bunch of it. I used to be able to say the whole alphabet and the numbers up to like 100.
Ooh, 100.
That's pretty good. That's pretty